Hello and welcome to the Exalted Empress Tarot. My name's Tiana. I am the Empress, and today we're going to look at what are their thoughts about you, what are they thinking, what is the rumor mill saying. It can be a person or it can be a group. Just depends on your situation. Pick either one, two, or three, and then I'll go ahead and meet you in your reading. Hello, group number one. You were in the right place if you picked this deck with the black cards. I'm going to go ahead and pull out all of your tarot cards for you, and then we are going to get into it, starting with an oracle card. Just give me one moment where I go ahead and choose all of your cards for your reading about what they are saying about you. I am getting a little a little bit of chitter chatter from these cards. This is a lot to get all at once. Yeah, so you may be in a place where people feel like they have a lot to say. You may be doing a lot in the visible sphere. It may not be that we're not getting necessarily like public figure or anything like that, but what I am getting is that people can see what you do. It is obvious to everyone what you bring to the table, and therefore people are sharing their opinions with each other. As so it goes. And you probably already know that if you are here. So let's see, we have one more card, the Eight of Wands. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get an oracle card for you to start, and we will also get an oracle card at the end to finish, just so you are aware that that is coming up. It's kind of like a little intro and then a summary. We're starting with Virgo 1, okay? If the number 53 is important to you, 5 through your 8, keep that in mind. This may be a sign. This is especially important to you. Establish greater order, harmony, and well-being in your physical body or environment. Okay, let's see what else that card has to say. I mean, clearly we have a lot going on. That's what I'm getting as an initial impression. It says, establish greater order, harmony, well-being in your physical body or environment. Tend to your health and home. This will bring about a much-needed vibrational shift. Okay? Practical wellness is of the essence now. You likely already know where you need to begin. For example, if you've been experiencing low energy or other health issues, you can begin by staying hydrated. Stay hydrated, friends. Getting plenty of sleep, exercising, and feeding your body lots of fresh and healthy foods. Perhaps clutter has been piling up in your home, car, workplace. If this is the case, you need to begin clearing that out. Anything you don't love, use, or need, get it out of here. Other ways to lovingly tend to your environment include cleaning your house, washing your car, pulling weeds, gardening. The realm of the body, you might consider a massage, a salt bath. Sounds very lovely. Self-care practices. Virgo is all about keeping your space cleansed and clear. And that means the negative energy from people as well. So if there's people who are saying things that they don't know anything about, they need to go. They need to go. They need to not be in your space. So we have the Chariot at first. Yeah, I think a lot of people are seeing you as being very structured. Like, you know what you have around you. You know what you have going on. And I'm seeing that they probably are saying that you're controlling. You have a certain way that you like things, and you won't let other people do it any other way. It's because you know what you're doing, and the people who want to do something different are probably in your space, talking about things you don't need to be talking about, trying to give you critiques and, input that you did not ask for. So yeah, they probably do feel like you're controlling because you are in control of your space. Right? Like, that's just probably the truth of it. We also have the Five of Swords. So there's a lot of chitter chatter that's happening probably very frequently. Whatever space you're in, I'm just seeing there's a lot of people observing. It may not even be formal. It may be a situation where maybe you have like a big family or a really big social circle where there's always like these like third party people, these people who are like, are a friend of a friend or a friend who are around you. And now they're keeping tabs on your social media. They're keeping tabs, like if you have a social media presence, if you're a creator of any sort, they're keeping track of that. They're just always like present in the background, and they are making that known by commenting on what you're doing, seeing your progress. And yeah, I think that they aren't really happy about it. And if they can do something to get in the way, they probably do. They probably, have some sort of account where they comment from there. They give their nasty opinions from like the secret account that you're never going to look at again. And they definitely don't feel like it's fair, because of course they don't. Whatever you have going on, whatever you're moving towards, they don't think it's fair that you have it and they don't. Heard that before. They should have it, but they're spending their time watching you instead of doing anything for themselves. Um, and quite frankly, what you're doing is fair. You probably put a lot of work into it, especially if you know exactly what works and you have a structured way of doing things. Spirit is letting you know right now that is not your burden. With the 10 of Wands, if you know that some people, have an issue with you, and you just, feel for them because they may have tried something similar, or they may want certain stuff, or before you started your goals, they weren't like this. Like, do not feel bad for them, because at the end of the day, what are you doing? Nothing to them. You're just going about your business. The fact that they had a bad reaction is their issue. With the 7 of Cups in reverse, people may see that you have a lot of options, or they may feel that you always find a way to like get something done a certain way or figure things out. It just seems like you have this bag of tricks that you're always figuring things out. You may not feel that way at all. So this is, you're experiencing two different realities. Like, what is actually happening in your life, and how you had to create opportunities for yourself. They're just seeing the opportunity that you create for yourself, the space you create for yourself. And so they have a lot of issue with it, and they'll probably continue to let you know, which is super annoying, but also not that surprising with the people who have the chitter chatter behind your back. I do see that you have, like, whatever relationship you're in or starting, depending on if you're in a relationship already or not, is very like out in the open. Which, why wouldn't it be? But I guess people are observing that as well. I don't know if this person maybe has more of a presence, whether, in your area or in the group, where they're considered pretty significant in some way. But that may be where a lot of this judgment is coming from too. People are like, well, why did they pick her? Like, she's not that special. She's not that great, which is what always happens, right? It doesn't matter who you are. Like, if your partner is in some sort of public space and they're like, well, she's not that special. It's like, okay, but what would make them special enough? Like, if it was you, like, okay. So, your relationship is fine, but everyone has a comment about it. And what I think is really interesting is there's this justice card here. And I love how it's under judgment. Like, things are just going to continue to go in your favor. And I think people are going to know that. People are already saying it. They're like, this person always gets whatever they want. Yeah, because you go after whatever you want. And they're just going to have to watch you. They're just going to have to watch you continue to be successful over and over and over again, and just like be your audience. They're your number one fan. They're probably racking up hours on your YouTube space if you're a creator, or whatever, platform you create on, if that's relevant to you. If you're, have anything that's social media, you may not have even wanted it to be particularly done well, and yet you go on there and all of a sudden, like, you have all this extra, time on there, or likes or whatever. It's like, oh, it's the group that's like hate watching. It's like, thank you. Like, hate watch me to fame. Thank you so much. And with the 8 of Wands, what I think is really funny is it's saying that this justice and this judgment and the laying down of burden is going to be very swift. So if right now you're feeling a lot of stress because you know that there's some rumor going on, really, they're just hating on things that are facts. They're saying, I can't believe this person is doing this well. I can't believe this person gets such good luck. I can't believe that they're with this person. I can't believe blah, 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 blah. and things are going to come in swiftly in the form of you just getting even more successful. So if there's some sort of milestone, some sort of certification, some sort of acknowledgement that's really important to you, or getting contest for some reason, you're going to achieve that thing, and it's going to wipe out all the haters. They're not going to go away, but they're going to really lose their balance as far as like having something to say. Because what do you say at that point? Everything that this person does isn't that great, and then you hit this milestone, and it's just going to be, at least for the people who are somewhat in your circle, they're just going to have to let it go, because they're not going to have a reliable place to vent from if you hit this milestone, or once you hit this milestone. It's just going to look too ridiculous for them to keep saying something. So let's see what your final card is. Interesting. So usually I just pick one card, but these two came out together, and I think it's really interesting. So we have Never Ending Story number 37, and then we also have, we have Orphaned number 5. Okay. And what's important about these cards is a never ending story is actually the story that you tell yourself. It's not something that's reoccurring to you. It's about you continuing to tell yourself you can't do something or you won't do something, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you keep saying that it keeps happening to you instead of changing a behavior. So I came up with the orphan card, and I'm going to tell you what that one's about real quick before I put them together. So this one is about, being in a group, doesn't serve you, doesn't fit you, it's not for you. It's these people who keep talking about you. You may be like, oh, I just really want a centered group. I thought these people were chill, yada, yada. We can go on about it. The people who are specifically like causing you this issue, they're not the people who are the center. They're like 2 or 3 degrees out. So their hate is essentially like irrelevant for you. Like there's no reason to even care or put like any thought into it. This idea that like, oh, you never like find these people, or every time you do something well, like there's no one there to congratulate you. No, it's the people in the back row who are heckling. It's always the people in the back row who are heckling. People rarely heckle from the front seats. They rarely can afford the front seats. Never mind heckle from them where everyone can see them, right? So those aren't your people. The people who you're already close to, who aren't heckling you, who are in that space, who are actually being really positive and are bringing you in, those are the people you need to focus on. And if it's like 4 of those people and then there's 10 people in the back row heckling, then let them keep each other warm. The AC, the heat probably doesn't work back there. They probably need to be gathered all around in the back to give you all of this grief and nonsense and whatever else. And stay on stage with the people in the front row doing what you're doing. They're all going to be silenced when you hit this milestone anyway. And honestly, keep going from there because you're doing an amazing job. So I hope that resonated. If it did, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's Court, either here on YouTube or over on TikTok. And I have been doing lives recently, so if you want to see me live or want me to read for you, keep your eyes open. You will get a notification, and I will see you next time in the Empress's Court. Bye! Hello, group number 2. You are in the right place if this background looks familiar to you. So, we're going to talk about today what people are saying behind your back, what the gossip is, what the rumor mill is. Could be good, could be not that great. People are people. We just have to find out whether or not people have a good read on you, and we're about to figure that out together. Okay, just checking to make sure everything is on screen. So I'm going to go ahead and get some tarot cards out for you. And after I get these tarot cards out for you, I'm going to get a first card, oracle card for you to kind of get an overall look at what the message is from Spirit, and then I will go ahead and get another oracle card at the end of the reading to kind of summarize things. I'm getting some good stuff here, so nice. Everything that is going on so far. Let me get 2 more cards, and then we can begin with our first oracle card. One more to go. One more to go. Great. I just want to make sure you can see everything. Oof, we were just slightly off. Hopefully that fixes it. I'm going to go ahead and read what each card is. So don't worry if you're like, what is this one? I will let you know in just a moment. I'm getting called to like pick a card off the top. I did not read it that way. Okay, so I saw this one flash. We're going to do the Emperor in reverse as the last card of your tarot cards. And let me go ahead and get you your first oracle card. This is a new deck that I have. I'm getting a lot of new decks. The finance department, aka my wallet, will be a little annoyed with me. That's okay. Let's see what this top card is, and it is the Moon. The Moon is our oracle card and the overall theme for this reading. So the number 17, 1, 7, or 8 are important to you. That is a sign. It says open up your senses so you can take in beauty, magic, and invisible currents of intuitive information. What's really interesting about this particular card is it's something like the Empress card. If you are familiar with that card, it's about divine feminine energy. The Empress card, not the moon specifically, but it is about things coming towards you and you allowing that. Sometimes you don't have to be super proactive to get things to come to you. You just need to be present and allow for things to reach you. So let's go ahead and read more about what this card has to say. The moon's radiance comes from her ability to receive. She glows, but she does not burn. She coolly soaks in the light of the sun without effort. She shines her borrowed light gently yet powerfully into the night. There is a subtlety here. You may not be able to articulate it. It may not come to you in words or as a fully formed linear idea, but if you can become quiet, breathe, and receive, you will perceive what you need to know. Become soft and supple. Let your stress be soothed. Tune into your emotions and the way your body feels. It may also be helpful to tune into the emotions and the unspoken messages you can see in others via their posture, behavior, facial expressions, and body language. The moon has to do with our intuition and feelings that inspire our choices and behavior. So this may be a message about quieting down enough to listen to your own inner motivations and into your world. If you are contemplating a choice or how to proceed, for example, listen to your feelings about it. Why are you contemplating this choice? What is it that you would most like to experience? Do you feel excited about a certain possibility? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe there's something you don't feel great about. If you discover happiness, unhappiness, ease, unease, or any other feeling, don't judge it. Honor it. It's an important clue. Even if you don't understand an emotion right away, remember that all your feelings have value. Listen to them. Take the time you need to discover and investigate your feelings, and then act accordingly. Also look for ways to rest, recharge, retreat, or take a vacation to step out of the active solar principle so you can step into the passive lunar principle. At any rate, before you take action, choose non-action. Take the time you need to be still and quiet before you choose a direction at all. Okay. So you are pondering something, thinking something, and Spirit is saying that is the way to go. Take things in. And I think people perceive you as, people perceive your insight. They see you as someone who is maybe a little stoic, but definitely reserved. And someone who, but they know they know there's some like intellectual thing there or creative thing there. Like you're someone who produces, ideas or frameworks or ideology that they normally wouldn't look at. You're the person who asks the big, deep questions about things. We have the Page of Wands here. So people feel that like you are, tend to become inspired by things or have ideas about things that they wouldn't normally think of. If they need advice, they may come to you because they know that you tend to come up with these ideas, these thoughts that are really interesting and creative that they would not have done on their own. With the Hermit, you may have been coming around people more frequently, so you may be easier to come in contact with, and people are noting it and are happy about it, okay? They like having you around, even if you feel like, I don't know why this group of people keep inviting me around. I'm like super quiet every single time we hang out. they are getting something from you. Just because you're not maybe the most extroverted or you don't push yourself into the middle of the situation doesn't mean that people don't get something from your presence. Again, you're the moon. So you take in a lot of information and people feel that from you. They realize like, oh, I'm seen by this person. This person understands when I bring them an issue, a problem, or I want insight. They know where that's coming from. The Page of Cups, I do see that, yeah, it's the new emotions. It's the different emotions. You settle people and people are maybe a little bit more like trying to figure out a certain situation. They don't know how they feel about this or that. They come to you because you settle them. They feel like, oof, I'm calm now. Yeah. And with the 9 of Swords, like any sort of like negative feelings, thoughts, when people are maybe a little bit more anxious about a situation than they need to be, they feel like they can go to you and really feel better. Like you help them solve something or at least soothe any anxious feelings they may have. With the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, they do notice it takes a lot to get you to go anywhere or to be in a group. You're like a solitary independent person. You don't really work with other people, but I don't mean that in a way where it's like, oh, this isn't a team player. They just know you kind of like flitter in and out of like groups and places. But when you come back, you always have something of value. And so whatever like different section that you're in, whatever group you're in at any given time, people are like, where did they go? I don't know. They just came back with like all this interesting stuff. And it's like, okay. Okay. I guess I'll take that for what it is, you're kind of a mystery, an enigma. Like, where do they go? What do they do when they're not here? Like, are they traveling? Are they talking to different people? Like, what's going on? With the Star, I think also, gosh, there's just a lot of healing energy. There's something about like this moon card and then the star card and just like kind of this moonlit vibe we're getting. And we don't have the sky a lot in here, but when we do have the sky, it's this starry sky. And all 3 cards that we have. So yeah, people see you as very healing. And I think there may be people around you right now who aren't sure, like I don't know if you have this may not be for everybody, but if you have a background in finance or if you've started investing or something, or if you just, like people just know that you have a good financial foundation, they know you're okay. You may be someone that they're looking for guidance in that area. They may be like, who knows what to do with money and investing? This person over here. They may come for you specifically for that because it comes off that you're doing okay. And yeah, so people may be coming around specifically for that advice. And don't feel like, if people are constantly questioning you about things that they're questioning you, they actually value your insight. They want to know more. And then we have the Emperor in reverse. There may be someone in particular who, and maybe why you're here today, it may not be, but who you were looking at too as a mentor or for guidance in some of these areas. And they may not have, met your expectation. There may be some friction there. I'm feeling the energy that like you can still be friends and connected to this person, but I think the issue is like you've passed the point of needing them in the way you did before, so you no longer need for them to guide you or help you. You're going to have a shift in that relationship because you're doing good. You're doing great. With Yang, number 1, that is your last oracle card for this reading. So I'll go ahead and look at what the meaning is for that card. And it says Yang represents the power of action, okay, in divine masculine energy. Doesn't have to be, but that's what it represents. The energies that propel the world forward and manifesting thought and desire into a concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shepherd of your destiny now. Yeah, and people see that. You can be more proactive and moving towards your goal if you want to. People see you as actually, I think that's part of the enigma mystery of you. They see you as accomplishing things and moving forward and being proactive, but they don't like see it in person. They don't see you in the moment being very proactive. It's like you just show up and you've accomplished another thing, or you've shown up and you've done another impressive thing. And they're like, I just saw them. I just saw them last week. They didn't have that. I just saw them. I literally 2 weeks ago. We had a conversation. They said they didn't know so and so. Now they're part of that team. I don't how just how. So you're really impressing people with the proactivity that you already have, and you move in silence. That's how I say you move in silence. And so you're still very proactive, and people see that because they keep getting surprised by like all the things that you like somehow managed to do, even though they're like how they never mentioned it, you know? How can I move like that? So awesome. You're definitely a role model, whether you see it or not. And awesome. Like all best wishes. Continue with that. If that resonated, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's Court, either here on YouTube or over on TikTok. I do Zodiac shorts every month, and then right now I'm doing live. So if you want to see me live, if you would like to have an individual reading, the best way to have that happen is to see me in a live. So I will see you next time in the Empress's Court. Bye. Hello, group number 3. If you had this snake skin backed deck, you were in the right place. Hello, hello, hello. So we are going to read about what people are saying about you, what people are talking about, what are their thoughts. It may be good, it may be bad, it may be neutral, and yeah, you probably will have opinions. So let's see what's coming out for you. I will be pulling out all of the tarot cards first. I like to see how these cards interact with each other. I like to see which card is next to what card, and then make a decision about what Spirit's message is based off of that. So just give me one hot minute while I get those out, and then we will start with an oracle card. We will also end with an oracle card, just because I like to make sure we have a little summary, a little intro. Interesting that we have the queens in reverse. Okay. 2 more cards. We're not going to do all of those because that is a lot. And then we will do this one right here. Interesting, interesting. People are definitely seeing you getting some success in an area. Let me go ahead and get our oracle deck. Okay. Sorry, I want to make sure that everything is in here. Okay, we're going to scoot things up just a smidge. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Let's see. How does that look? Awesome. Okay, sorry. These cards are a little bit thicker than the other decks I was using today, so they may be slightly out of frame. That is okay. I will be reading what all the cards are, so you won't miss out on anything in that sense. Ooh, okay. We do have this card that came out. Do I want to do water? You know what? The card that actually... This is what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that this card is for you. And we're going to pick the card that either comes out twice or comes out next. If it comes out twice, it was definitely meant for you. And sorry, I'm very picky about that. I do not like when cards kind of like flop out of the deck. I want it to like fly out. I want it to know, like, I am the card. There we go. And it's a completely different card. Glad I did that. Aries 32. If Aries is your sign or the sign of the person you're thinking of who may have things that they're saying about you, that's a sign. If 32 is important to you, 3, 2, or 5, those are all signs that this message is for you. And it says, lead, initiate, and be playful. You are qualified to assume the authoritative role. Ooh. So there is some situation where you are being seen as a person in authority, whether that is a legitimate official role or if it's just kind of something that's happened socially. You can bust out of a rut if you cultivate confidence and let fun guide your way. Okay, so there may also be some situation where you're naturally someone who is charismatic, playful, that sort of thing, and it may actually be upsetting people. So let's read on. If your question or situation has to do with a group, how can you take the lead or assume more of a leadership role? If you have a vision and plan for how to proceed, don't hide it. Don't feel shy about exercising power. Remember that groups need leaders. A wise and decisive leader, not a wide leader, I don't know what that would be about, is a blessing, not a curse. If you've been feeling stuck or depressed, this card counsels you to be proactive about unblocking your energy and getting yourself free. Even if you don't feel like it right now, draw upon Aries' fiery energy and do something bold. Put on some celebratory music and dance. Change into a bright red dress or call up that person you've been wanting to ask on a date. Aries knows that we put on as little extra work into pushing a snowball up the hill before gravity takes over and begins to gain momentum all on its own. One more fun trick Aries has up her sleeve, seeing life as fun, even in unlikely or seemingly humdrum moments. Events that seem like bad luck at the time often turn out to be some of our fondest memories, like that time the electricity went out while you were cooking dinner and you ended up eating snack foods and telling stories and jokes by candlelight. Even everyday events can be fun when we remember to see them through the eyes of our inner child. Driving a car on the highway, going to your grown-up desk job, or standing in line at the bank, can you step back and see your current situation through the eyes of a playful child? Okay. So people are probably saying that either they love your playful energy or they see you as immature. And I think that has less to do with you doing anything wrong and more to the fact that people recognize the playful energy, they recognize the attention you get, and whether or not people appreciate it or want to take from it will depend how they interact with you. So if they are upset about it, they're going to say, oh, they're so childish, they don't take anything seriously. While people who enjoy your energy just enjoy your energy. With the Four of Cups, I do see that, yeah, people are a little disappointed. Maybe they thought because you are more playful that you would be more open to influence. Obviously, those two things don't have to go together. So if they try to have an influence on you or tell you what to do and you were just like, that's nice, and did whatever you wanted to do anyway, they may be realizing now and being a little bit upset about it, that you do what you want. And that's kind of where this leadership energy comes from, because you show people that they can be themselves. With the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, I think a lot of people, again, may be talking about how, things are childish, blah, 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 despite the fact that you have everything you need in order to have things in order. The Six of Cups, you have a very nostalgic energy. And I think, again, that may be part of it. You may have a lot of things that are like fun, bright, festive. You may have childlike things in your area that may be your aesthetic, playful, cute, or again, just nostalgic. Like if you're very much into like the 90s era or the 80s and you still have stuff from that time period, or, further back, whatever the case may be, cottagecore, etc. People may see that and then make judgments about who you are based off, whether or not you wear skirts and how on theme you are and things that you like. With the Ace of Wands in reverse, yeah, people may not want to acknowledge your ideas because they want to put you in this particular box. With the Queen of Wands, I feel like you're very much someone, in reverse, you're very much someone who has actually good control over what's around you. You're smart, you know how to problem solve. And people want to push that down and make it seem like it's not happening. This one's not too surprising. The people who are jealous of you want to say you're jealous of them. You stand out, but in a very positive way. People see your energy, what you bring to the room. And the naysayers want to kind of push that out of the framework. And I feel like there's a very much a back and forth energy. Like it could be the same person on one day who's like, wow, so-and-so is so much fun. And like the very next day they're like, they're so immature. It's like, okay, but like you were hanging out on the playground with them like literally yesterday, even though you're like 45. So like figure it out. Like, do you want to have fun or do you want to judge them for having a good time? Like, which is it? The Sun in reverse is, so the Sun can never be negative. It's always a positive card. It's always positive energy. So you're probably having a really great time out there. Like you're probably not bothered at all by what people say either way. And I think with the Sun in reverse, it's more like contentment. It's about very level, happy energy. So you're just moseying about living your best life. You're not really worried about what anyone has to say if it's negative. We only allow positive vibes in the space. I'm all for that. Um, so it doesn't even really affect you. You're probably watching this channel just like out of nowhere for funsies. So hey, hope you come back. If you want to just like chill the next time you're bored, like feel free to come back. And the Eight of Pentacles, you probably are working towards some goals and things. Maybe not anything too specific right now. But people see you having a very fulfilled and successful life. And, again, very on theme, on brand, on whatever aesthetic you are going towards. And that may be confusing for them. Let them be confused. They're really not bothering you anyway. You're like kind of okay with whatever they have going on. So, yeah, very chill, relaxed vibes here, and maybe a nostalgic or childlike aesthetic. People can see and they'll either acknowledge it or they won't, but it's very clear that you have a very outgoing energy that a lot of people do like to get behind and see you as a leader, especially in like just group fun, like social situations. People are like, oh, this person is someone I want to get around so that I can have fun too. The last oracle card we have is 46 Regeneration. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what Spirit has to say about that. Hope you like my makeshift music as I go through the booklet. Rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now, whether opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something bigger and better, more powerful, growing in its place. The rebirth is assured. Step into your life. Destiny is being filled in wondrous ways. So there may have been a moment where things happened that were going on in your life that were more visible, public, and people thought that was going to change who you are or how you presented yourself. Not a chance. You kept on keeping on, and now you're coming out of it. And so, again, some people may be surprised at that. Let them continue to be surprised by you being who you are, which is something. It is something to observe when people are you're still you, and just another Tuesday of you being you, and they're surprised again. Like, sure, why not continue, please? Why not be surprised a third time? You're doing nothing different but being who you are, your lovely, fun self. So that resonated, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's court, either here on YouTube or over on TikTok. This is where I have my long form videos. I have shorts here and Zodiac shorts here, as well as on TikTok. And I've been doing lives. So if you'd like to see me live, if you'd like to get a chance at a personal reading, that is where to see me. And I will see you next time in the Empress's court. Bye.